2004 comedy Mean Girls, about Katie Heron's attempt to infiltrate a superficial clique at her new high school, is a bona fide classic, popular with both girls and guys. But guys may tend to see things in the movie's plot that girls might not notice at first glance. Keeping quiet. The old saying goes that a gentleman never tells, but we all know how rare it actually is for a guy to keep quiet. Guys tend to brag about their flings, generally to impress their friends and colleagues, even if it's not exactly gentlemanlike. And that's why it was a surprise that it took Jonathan Bennett's high school hunk Aaron so long to find out that his girlfriend Regina was cheating on him every Thursday with her ex-boyfriend Shane. Katie spends so much time during the movie trying to get Aaron to walk in on Regina and Shane in order to sabotage their relationship, but in real life, no stunt this elaborate would ever have been necessary. A guy like Shane would have blabbed about his affair with Regina to every last one of his buddies. She is the queen bee after all, and word would have spread around the school like wildfire. That's just how things seem to work. Let's hear it for the boys. One of the biggest complaints about female characters on the big screen tends to be that they're poorly written. While male protagonists are often fully fleshed out, their female counterparts are usually one-dimensional and underdeveloped. It's sad, but it's true. In Mean Girls, however, that rule gets flipped on its head. The female characters are interesting and complex, while the male characters, for the most part, are just kinda there. Aaron isn't interesting or funny. He's not exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer either, as pointed out by Katie.
So what did you get for this one?
Well, the first time I did it, I got a 0.
Wrong.
But then when I checked it, I got 1.
There you go.
Meanwhile, Katie's dad and Principal Duval are both kind of pushovers. Remember how oblivious Katie's old man comes off when he tries to punish her? Or how in over his head Principal Duval seems with the madness going on at his school? All in all, not the most likable bunch. Only Kevin G appears to have some modicum of personality.
Happy holidays, everybody!
A bad sport. Okay, so maybe it's unfair to pick on Aaron so much. He does seem like an okay guy for the most part. It's just difficult to get past the fact that he's supposed to be a jock, despite looking more than a little unathletic during his one sports-related scene.
Did you ever feel like you wanna be someone else for just one day? Did you ever feel like you wanna see?
He looks like a guy who hasn't exactly played soccer for very long, if at all, despite the fact that he's supposed to be a senior on the team. It's also implied that Aaron is a member of the swim team, despite the audience never actually seeing him competing in the pool. Then again, if his swimming was anything like his soccer, it's probably for the best. The end. If there's one part of Mean Girls that guys might have trouble stomaching, it's the movie's hugely cheesy ending. When Katie is named Spring Fling Queen, she opts to deliver a nearly 2-minute-long speech in front of her classmates that oozes with sappiness, complete with dramatic background music.
I mean, I think everybody looks like royalty tonight.
Just to really hit you on the nose with it all, she also breaks down her crown and passes the pieces out to the crowd. Oh, and her parents are also there, just so we can see how proud they are of her for putting aside her differences with her classmates. The only redeemable part of the whole thing is Principal Duval interrupting Katie to let her know a speech isn't actually required, which is at least an acknowledgement of the ridiculousness of it all in keeping with the movie's ironic tongue-in-cheek tone. Regina's lacrosse thing. At the end of Mean Girls, we're told that Regina eventually found her calling in lacrosse. She channels her aggression into the sport and is shown roughing up defenders with her elbow and lacrosse stick on the way to scoring a goal. But there's no way that sort of behavior would ever fly in real life. Any half-decent referee would have called a foul on Regina for striking her opponents in the face and immediately sent her off with a red card. Of course, this is just a movie, so Regina is able to celebrate the goal with her teammates, enjoying the happy ending that, let's be honest, she didn't really deserve.